This is Officer Parasha at the I.S.U.P.K UK. As you know, we have classes twice a week. This is the Saturday class. Now, as we do, first we read a chapter out of the law, then we go into a topic of the day. Now, the topic is called a worker of the Lord, or a fisher of men, however you would like to put the topic of the class. But before we get into that topic, we're going to read out the law first. So if you could give me Deuteronomy 13 and verse 1.
Deuteronomy 13 and 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee sign of or wonder.
So now the Most High is letting the Israelites know, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or wonder. So now, if someone comes and they claim to be a prophet, now for those who don't know, the word prophet means to speak before. So he speaks before something happens. So if someone like that comes onto you, or a dream saying, I had a dream, this is gonna happen, and he gives thee a sign or wonder, read.
Verse 2, and the sign or wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them.
So now, if that sign or wonder does come to pass, but then he goes, yeah, but let us go serve other gods, let us go serve Buddha, let us go serve basically, let us go serve any other god except the God of the Israelites in the Bible. He tells you go serve any other god except the God that only we know. Read.
Verse 3, thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet.
Thou shalt not do what?
Hearken unto the words of that prophet.
There, so whatever he says, don't pay attention to anything he says. Even if it does come to pass, don't hearken unto his words. Why? Because he's telling you to go after another God, and that makes him a false prophet. Read on.
Or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul.
And then it goes, for the Lord your God proveth you to know whether you love the Lord with all your heart and with all your soul, meaning that false prophet that told you to follow other gods, really that man was actually set up by the Lord to see whether you would follow the Most High, to see whether you would obey his commandments, or you would go off with that false prophet right there. Now, I'm not going to get it, but in the book of Job, I think it's 12 and 16, it goes, the deceived and the deceiver, they are his, meaning someone that's deceived and the person that is doing the deceiving, both of them are of the Most High. So that is a test to see whether you're going to stick with the Most High or you're going to go with them. Read on.
Verse 4, ye shall walk after the Lord your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him.
All right, so now if we reject that false prophet, verse 4 saying, ye shall walk after the Lord your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice. So now, if you reject that prophet, that's you fearing the Most High, that's you obeying his commandments. So how we apply this to today, TD Jakes, he'll be considered a false prophet. You know what I mean? Juanita Bynum, she'll be considered a false prophet. Joel Osteen, or a dreamer of dreams, who's that? Martin Luther King, he will be called a false prophet according to the Bible. Why? Because he told us to go after other gods. He was teaching concepts that was not found in the Bible. So we will reject that, and we will follow the Most High. We will keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Verse 5.
Verse 5, and that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death.
They shall be what?
put to death.
What did the Bible say?
Shall be put to death.
And they shall be put to death. Now, back then, we put them to death. You know, some capital punishments where they will be burnt or they will be stoned to death. But now, we don't put anyone to death. The Most High, He controls who shall be put to death. So whether that person gets assassinated like Martin Luther King, that was a judgment of the Most High. So a false prophet or a dreamer of dreams, they shall be put to death. Read on.
Because he have spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God.
He did what?
Spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God.
And that's why their punishment is death. Because they have spoken to turn you away from the Lord thy God. They're trying to get you out of following the right path. They want you to follow some philosophy which in its totality is just a wrong path which will only get us destroyed, as you can see today. Read on.
Which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the hand of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in.
And that's what they're doing. Anytime they come up with their own opinions or what they think, they're thrusting you out of the way of the Lord your God, meaning the way that He has the law, statutes, and commandments, us to not be united with anybody else. They're trying to thrust you out of the way. A lot of times when they have these dreams, it's for you to always join somebody else, for you to take up the culture of somebody else. And the God of the Bible, He's not with that. He wants to also follow His laws. He gave us a culture and a custom that we are commanded to keep. Continue reading.
So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee.
And once that person is put to death, that's putting the wickedness away from the midst of thee. Verse 6.
Verse 6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or thy wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about, nigh unto thee, or far from thee, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth.
So now, the first five verses that we read, this was talking about a prophet or a dream. Now, this is getting to your relatives now, meaning they come to you privately saying, you know, let us go serve some other god, namely the gods are around about you, or for one end of the earth, even unto the other part of the earth. Basically meaning, if they tell you to serve any other god. Now, how would we apply this to today?
If your cousins or whatever say, yo, I got this Islamic book, you know, or be searching Islam, when they come look it out with me, or
that's right.
When they come follow me to the mosque.
Or like you want to come to some Jehovah Witness events, you want to go to some Pan-Africanism event, you know what I mean? And like they're trying to hang you the book, they're trying to influence you that what you're following is wrong and what they're following is correct. Read on.
Verse 8, thou shalt not consent.
What did the Bible say?
Thou shalt not consent.
Meaning thou shalt not consent, meaning thou shalt not agree with him. When they say, come, let's go to Aswan crazy event, you go, no, you're not meant to consent. Let's go learn about, you know, this like Pan-Africanism stuff. You go, no, thou shalt not consent. Let's go to this Islamic event where they're going to show that the Bible's fake. You're meant to go, no, you're not meant to consent with them. They're telling you to go after other gods. Read on.
Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shall thou spare, neither.
So what that part? Neither shall thou spare him. Now some people, because it's a member of their family, they don't even tell them that it's wrong. They kind of, nah, me personally, I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? You treat him the same way as you would treat anyone else. If they're following it, it's rubbish, it's garbage, it's not the truth, It doesn't fix blacks and Hispanics. You let them know you don't severe them. Read on.
Neither shalt thou conceal him.
And that word there is to hide. So if you can't seal somebody, you are hiding them. So you're not hiding. Now, of course, back then, you was found worshiping any other god, you'll be put to death. So some people do actually hide it, like they know what they're doing, but they hide it because they don't want them to die. Now, in these times, we don't hide you. We'll tell you straight what you're doing is wrong. If we're at camp and a cousin of mine comes, I'm not gonna hide him and pretend like he believes. You don't hide anybody. Read on.
But thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people.
I mean, verse 9 is pretty self-explanatory. So when it comes time to put him to death, first your hands are upon him. Why? Because he's told you, and then the hands of everybody else as well. Verse 10.
Verse 10, and thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he hath sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
And there, by him trying to talk to you on a slide, telling you, let's go serve some other God, he's trying to thrust you out of the way of the Most High. He's trying to bring you somewhere else, which our people don't need to be. Read on.
Verse 11, and all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you.
And they ran. When they hear him crying from all those Sodoms, everyone around, they're going to hear, and they're going to be afraid, and they will not do no such thing. Like, with this tactic here, in any ancient history, you'll find it out where basically they make people an example, so everyone else knows, well, I'm not doing that because I've seen what happened to him. So if you see him get stoned to death, what's that gonna make you not want to do?
Worship other gods.
That's right. So you're gonna hear screaming, and one rock busts his head top, one his eye comes out, the other one his front teeth come out of his mouth, and you're gonna see that, and you're gonna go, you know what? I'm sticking to the Lord thy God. I'm not going anywhere else. Like in the time of slavery, obviously this is on the flip side, on the wrong side. Any slave that rebels, they'll make them an example. They make a horse, rip them apart, put one horse on the hands, one horse on the feet, or on like the legs, like to basically split them both sides to make the slaves know, look, if you mess around, this is your turn. That's what.
Yeah, even like drug cartels and stuff, they make example out of people, like they'll cut men's members off and put it in their mouth and so forth, behead people and that.
Yeah, like with the Colombians, they got a Colombian necktie where they'll cut your neck, get your tongue, pull it out and pull it in your neck, and that's to let other like drug cartels or any rival that they have that, listen, we're not the ones to be messing around with. They're well known for that, and that makes many people afraid of those Colombian drug cartels too. And where was we at?
11.
Verse 11.
If thou shalt hear in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy God hath given to thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Belial, are gone from out among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which ye have not known.
So now, this is on a bigger scale now. Now it's in a town. Now with some men, they're saying to the inhabitants, let us go and serve other gods. So it's not them doing it alone. They're convincing a lot of people saying, you know what, let us go and serve these gods, and they're actually drawing them onto them. Read on.
Verse 14, then thou shalt inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be truth and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought among you.
So now, if you hear about this, you would inquire diligently, meaning with all the effort that you have. So you'll be asking around, asking the people of the town, asking the people of the towns round about, is it true? Did they go out there and serve Baal or like any other so-called gods at that time? So now it'd be up to you to ask, find out if this is correct, or it's just someone that just is just making up a lie. Read on.
Verse 15. Thou shalt surely smite. So did I read it all for you?
Yes, verse 15.
Verse 15. Thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof, with the edge of the sword.
Okay, so now, if it is true, then thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. So, if it is true, then with that town, you would make war against it, and you will kill everyone in it, the cattle and everything. So nothing will not survive, and that's their punishment for serving another god. Verse 16.
Verse 16. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn it with fire, and all the spoil thereof, every whit, from the Lord thy God, and it shall be an heap forever, and it shall not be built again.
There, so once you destroy the men and the cattle with the edge of the sword, you shall gather all the spoil of it. So the spoils are the items of war. So if we had the war, you got some nice gold, that will be the spoil of war. So now it's a common thing where usually when you have a war and you win, you take that back with you. But because of the sin of what they've done, the Most High wants you to even burn that too. So all the goods of a war, the Most High wants you to even burn that for the wickedness that the people have done. He doesn't want you to have any of their belongings too. Read that.
Verse 17. And there shall cleave naught of the cursed thing to thine hand, that the Lord may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and show thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee, as he hath sworn unto thy fathers.
So now that explains verse 16. Now the reason why he wants everything burnt, because he doesn't want none of the cursed thing to cleave unto you. I mean, anything that they had, because obviously them people are cursed by God. That's why they got destroyed. And he doesn't want none of their belongings with you, that he can have kind of passion upon you, and that his anger turn away from you. So that's why he wants everything burnt. Verse 18.
Verse 18. When thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord thy God.
And there, so now to hearken unto the commandments, that's showing that you're doing what's right in the eyes of the Most High. So now that was just like chapter law. We're gonna get into class. Has anyone got any questions on the law? Anything they didn't understand or anything they need to go over? Yeah.
Yeah. Verse 13 speaks about the children of Bilal.
Oh, Bilal.
Yeah.
Bilal is another word for a wicked person or a devil or something. Like, it's in the it's in the Bible dictionary if I'm correct. Yeah, like basically like any attributes that you had, you'll be called a son or a child of. So if you're a wicked person, you be called a child of Bilal, or like if you was a prophet or you was felt like a prophet, they would call you a son of a prophet, or like a child of a prophet. So that was the Israelite custom. So when it says sons of Bilal, just means they just in a nutshell means they are wicked men. So these wicked men entice you, saying saying to the inhabitants, let us go and serve these other gods. But we're going to get that out of the Bible dictionary as well. I think also in the book of Kings, when like Jezebel wanted that man dead so that her husband Ahab, he could have his land, they called them the sons of Bilal also as well. So you mean like you'll find that, and in the book of Judges as well, when the Benjamites they got into a bit of a homosexuality, they called them sons of Bilal. So you'll find it numerous times throughout the Bible, just referring to their attributes and the wickedness that they had done.
The perdition or sons of perdition?
Sons of perdition, if I'm correct.
in the position.
Yeah, I think that'll be. I've highlighted it in there. Should be there. Well, yeah. Besides that one, we're going to get the definition. Any other questions on the law or any other questions in general?
Mm-hmm. I think it's traditional.
I know, sir.
The PERD.
Yeah, PERDITION.
Yeah. Perdition, son of Hebrews, or Sakya. It is derived from a custom among the Hebrews of noting a certain trait or characteristic in a person and then referring to him as the son of that trait.
There, so any trait that you have, they'll call you the son of such and such. So if you was like a warrior, you're like the son of David. Now, obviously, now with David, he was known for being strong and fighting. So they'll basically any trait that you had, they will just call you the son of.
Like when Christ said to the Pharisees, you're of your father, the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Like they ain't connected. They didn't come from the devil. But it's saying how basically because you're deceivers and you're deceiving the people and you're stealing their money, you're the son of the devil.
That's right.
Like today, say you're son of a bitch or something. Not that you're literally son of a dog, but it's like
So you low down.
Yeah.
What you're doing it right. So I mean, yeah, even in today's terms, that was a good an analogy too. So yeah, so when it says in Deuteronomy, certain men of Belial, it's saying that the certain wicked men basically.
Okay.
All right, so be all straight with that. Everyone cool?
Okay.
All right, so let's get into the class. Today's class is called How to Fish Men or a Fisher of Men. Now, this is very good class because with some people, yeah, they found out that they are the real Jews and that they got to keep their commandments, but you got people that want to just run out there, spread the word, and they haven't been taught, and also they're not learned enough. So with this class, hopefully it covers every aspect of this, and then if you have any questions after, ask and we'll gladly break those down if we have the answers as well. So from there, give me Matthew 4:18.
Matthew 4:18. And Yahushua walking by the Sea of Galilee saw two brethren, Simon called Peter and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers.
Mm-hmm.
And he saith unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men.
What did he say?
Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men.
So yeah, now the regular occupation was a fisherman. But he's saying, "Follow me, and I'll make you a isha of men." Now think about that. Now, have any of you ever done it before? Like ever tried to fish?
No.
Haven't. Now, when you fish, right, any different kind of fish doesn't take the same bait. Meaning, if you put just one worm on a hook, you may get a fish once in a while, but it don't work all the time. So, if this is your job, what do you have to do? You have to mix it up. If the fish ain't being attracted to the bait, it's your obligation to try and switch up the bait, make the bait as appealing as it can be. So now, many people read that in school, yeah, and basically it's can't continue reading. But to be a fisher of men, you got to make the truth appealing unto people, but also you have to see their standpoints and where they come from. Not everyone comes from a Bible background. You got some people that don't believe in the Bible at all. You got some people that historically they believe the Bible is inaccurate. So to be a fisher of men, it does require you to be learned. This don't mean you have to be a scholar in everything, but it is good to be well rounded, if you understand. All right, from there, give me Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 5 and 10.
Ecclesiasticus 5 and 10. Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy words be the same.
All right. Now I'm starting from verse 10, but the main point I want to get to is as you read down. But the Bible says, "Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same." So whatever you believe in, be strong in that, and let thy word be the same. Meaning, when someone asks you about what you believe in, don't get ashamed and try to waver around it. If you're strong in that, let your word be the same too. But read on.
Verse 11. Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give answer.
Yeah, so if you live good, you can give an answer with patience. So you're not saying it and you're not doing it. Read on.
Verse 12. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Now that's one thing when you begin to learn. If thou has understanding, answer thy neighbor. So if you do know it, answer him. If not, lay thy hand by the mouth. So if you don't know, just so that you don't know, you don't want to be making up something and then they go home and research it. And what you said is wrong, it's not the truth. It's something that you made up on the spot. Read on.
Verse 13. Honor and shame is in talk.
There, that's why you should lay your hand upon your mouth, because honor and shame is in talk, meaning respect and shame. So if what you said is true, people will respect you, and if it's wrong, then it's a shame upon you. So it's in your talk. That's why you need to know what you are on about. Read on.
And the tongue of man is his fall.
And that's clear. The tongue of man is his fault. You're teaching something that ain't correct. You're going in something historically that ain't correct. The tongue of man is what?
His fall.
Is your fault. And you will fall because of that. People look down and you think, nah, these guys don't know what they're on about. They're bringing up dates that don't exist, talking about things that are wrong. Read on.
Verse 14.
Oh, no, sorry. And you can skip to verse 15.
Verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything, in a great matter or small.
And that's clear now. This is the point that I wanted. You becoming a fisher of men. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small, meaning that you cannot say, I don't know. It's good to know a bit of everything: history, Bible dates, archaeology, etymology of words. Don't be ignorant in anything. Now, this is very clear because understand our people, they follow everything. So by them being in like all kinds of religions and philosophies, you will have to know about all types of religions and philosophies, because if you don't, then to some degree you can't relate to them, or you don't know their standpoints or where they're coming from. And ain't nothing worse than you're trying to reason with somebody and you don't see their points, and then you're just going round and round and it gets redundant. Do you understand? So now also as well, it doesn't make you seem closed up too, because some people, they all what they know is what they've been taught and haven't really been out there in the world. And you can tell when you talk to them, they're very one-dimensional. Now, us at the I.S.U.P.K, we are not one-dimensional. We have understanding in everything. You know what I mean? Even if some of us may not know it all, there is someone else that does. So if you can read that one more time.
Ecclesiasticus 4 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything, in a great matter or small.
Yeah, so the Bible's saying, always be educated in everything, whether it's big or small. For those that don't know, the word ignorant, it means not to know. So the Bible's saying, don't be like that. Know, even if it's great or like it's small. So now give me 2 Timothy 2 and 15.
2 Timothy 2:15. Everyone got it?
I'm getting it right now. Yeah, got it.
Study to show thyself approved unto God.
What did the Bible say?
Study to show thyself approved unto God.
And there, and by you not being ignorant of anything, you are studying to show yourself approved unto God. So then the Most High, He can use you to spread His word. Meaning, obviously, under the rank of the I.S.U.P.K, you can go out there and you can spread the word. Why? Because you're learned, or obviously you don't know everything, but you're learned in specific groups of things where you'll be able to answer people's questions. And read it again from the top.
Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed.
Therein, if you're approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, meaning you're not gonna be ashamed. You can go out there, speak bold, speak confident. Why? Because you know what you are talking about. You are learned, and if anyone from any so-called different religious backgrounds or any philosophies or beliefs, you're able to go against them, or you're able to reason with them, because you are studied unto the Most High. What we done?
Rightly dividing the word of truth.
And rightly dividing the word of truth. Now, when it says rightly dividing the word of truth, this of course is talking about the Bible. The Bible says line upon line, precept upon precept. So a righteous man of God, he will rightly be dividing this word. So this will be, of course, when you'll be battling so-called Christians, Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists, Pentecostals, Baptists, Methodists, or all other kinds of religious denominations. A precept for that, Proverbs 15:28.
Proverbs 15:28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer.
What did the Bible say?
The heart of the righteous studieth to answer.
Yeah, so that's a precept to what we read before. So the heart, now we know your heart is your mind. So the mind of the righteous studieth to answer. So he's gonna research things. When you just want to answer, you want it to be nothing but the truth. You don't want the answer to be some made up stuff that you made on the spot, because you probably felt under pressure, or you felt like like you didn't want to tell him. I'll have to go back and have to research that. So the Bible says the heart of the righteous studieth to answer. Read on. That's what Proverbs 15:28.
The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things.
There now, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out
Evil things.
So now an evil thing is what? A lie, something that is incorrect, something that ain't right. An evil thing, if you lie, then that is a wicked thing. So a wicked man, he just pours out anything, if he thinks that's right to him, that's what he's gonna do. But the Bible says a righteous man, he will study to give an answer, and that's what all of us have to do. That's why being a fisher of men, it is good that you learn the Bible. If you got questions, ask them questions. Don't wait till someone brings it up and then you're saying I don't know. It's better you ask it now and you have the answer, so that when they come to you, you got the answer there on the spot. And even historically, so a righteous man, he will study to give an answer, if everyone understands.
Okay.
All right. So now, although you're probably in the work, do have in mind everyone that you talk to. Some of them, they don't care, they don't want to know. So do keep that in mind, because you got some people, they would debate with someone for like 6 hours and not understanding that this person, he doesn't want to know, and truthfully, he doesn't care as well. So from there, go back to 2 Timothy, but now it's 2:16. 2 Timothy 2:16.
2 Timothy 2 and 16. But shun profane and vain babblings.
Now, that's what the Bible says. But shun profane and vain babblings. Now, the word profane means unclean. So someone talking some uncleanness, ignore that. And profane babblings, and vain babblings, meaning words, mean things that ain't of any benefit. So if someone said to you, okay, then in Genesis 1 and 1, the Bible says in the beginning, can you prove? Have you got any sort of pictures of in the beginning? Now, are you really going to answer that? That's going to be a waste of time, and you're going to go round and round in me. You know what I mean? And basically, you can't make your point, and he can't make his. So now, even the Apostle Paul, he's telling Timothy things like that. Avoid that. Read on.
For they will increase unto more ungodliness.
And that's what they do. They increase unto more ungodliness. So now the conversation gets more profane, and it gets more vain as well, because it's increasing, because as what they say, a dumb question requires a what?
Dumb answer.
That's right. And it's only gonna go round and round in circles, and if you start it, it only gets worse, and then someone else comes with another dumb or profane and vain question. So you doing this work too, you gotta be wise in who you're addressing and what their agenda is. When you're at camp and you know what I mean, someone comes with a big grin on their face, asking something very silly, you can answer it if you want, but do be prepared to be there all day trying to answer a question that they ain't that basically they ain't even an answer for. But you can read that one more time.
Verse 16. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness.
And that's what they do. They increase unto more ungodliness. From there, give me Proverbs 26 and 4. Now, King Solomon, he was the wisest man. And now, let's see what he had to say on this subject as well.
Proverbs 26 and 4. Answer not a fool according to his folly.
All right, so can anyone break that down?
If somebody asks you a dumb question, just don't answer it.
Yeah,
It's just foolish.
according to his folly, I mean, according to his stupidity, don't answer it, and it's going to explain why.
Lest thou also be like unto him.
Lest you also be like unto him. So now, both of you are going back and forth over something stupid, something that you can't answer because it's dumb, and then you and him are going back and forth, and because of that, now you're like onto him. So now a wise man should not be answering any questions that are dumb. Now don't get me wrong, if someone really don't understand something and they're being very honest about it, then of course. But if someone's trying to, be smart and they're asking something dumb, you as being a smarter man, you should not be entertaining that. Verse 5.
Answer a fool according to his folly.
But then now King Solomon, he flips around and goes, but now you can answer a fool. Read on.
According to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit.
So sometimes you do have to answer them, lest they be wise in their own conceits. Your own conceits is your mind. So now he thinks he's smart. Look, they can't answer my question because they don't know. My question was so smart. So sometimes a foolish man, you will have to answer it once in a while, because in his mind, he was thinking it's smart. He was thinking, he's some segala. So you being wise, when is the time and when is not the time, because sometimes you can answer their question and it can just be so wrong, and then now everyone's can be used around you, or sometimes you can, because in his mind he thinks he's so smart. If everyone's with me,
All
right, now I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. Now, before you can spread the word, it's very important that you learn and now all throughout the Bible, it talks about this. People that were learned, people that were taught before they did the work of the Lord. Give me Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 1.
Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat thou that findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel.
Now it says, when it says this roll, back then there was no book called the Bible. Every book was written in a scroll. So he's saying, eat this roll. So now they literally eat the roll. You know what I mean? Eating paper is a very unpleasant thing. Now remember, this Bible is a black man book. When we say we ate something, do we literally mean that we actually had it on a plate? No, we don't. We mean that we studied it. We basically learned it. And in the Bible, the prophet Ezekiel, he learned the Bible. The Most High gave him the scroll, and he ate the scroll, meaning he learned it. He read it back and forth, understood what he was talking about. It's like, I don't know in America, but over here we got saying if we go to the gym, I just ate up the gym. That didn't mean he literally ate the bench bar. No, it don't mean that he's in the gym working out hard, lifting the heaviest weights. So even over here saying that he ate the roll, meaning he learned the words of the Most High. Read on.
Verse 2. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness.
So when he was getting an understanding of the Bible, as what we call it today, it was sweet to him. He understood what the Bible was on about. He understood the prophecies. He understood every part of it, and it's sweet. Like when you get a good breakdown, it's in your mind. It's in your mind every day. Like, wow, I can't believe this is what the Bible is on about. So likewise with him, the word of God, it was sweet unto the prophet Ezekiel. Verse 4.
And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel.
Get thee to who?
The house of Israel.
So if you notice, he had to learn first, then go to the Israelites. He didn't go to the Israelites and then learn. You got to be taught first. So now, once he learned the role, then it said what?
Go thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them.
And do what?
And speak with my words unto them.
There, so when you go to the Israelites, the so-called Black Hispanics and the native Indians, you gotta speak the Most High's words unto them, which means you have to learn the word of the Most High. You can't go out there talking about what you want to, what you think what is right. You got to go there speaking, thus saith the Most High, out of the Bible. Is there any more on that, or is that? That's pretty much that.
Yeah.
All right, no sweat. Give me in Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus 6 and 32.
Ecclesiasticus 6 verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught.
So now, my son, if you will, thou shalt be taught. So now, with Jesus, the son of Sirach, this is who wrote this one here. He's teaching us how to learn, because many people don't understand this. They think no one can't teach them. They know it all. They have their own Bible and their Strong's Concordance. But now the Bible tells you how you get taught, and as you read on, you're going to get this understanding. Read.
And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear.
If thou love to what?
To hear.
To hear. So now, that is action where someone's saying something and you're paying attention. So how you learn is if someone else is speaking and you're paying attention to what is being said. Now this is how you learn, but it goes more in depth as you read on. Read.
Thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, Salaki, If thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders.
What did the Bible say?
Stand in the multitude of the elders.
So how you learn is people that are wiser than you, you be around them. So now if you notice, how you learn is if you get taught, and then it says what?
Stand in a multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise.
So that's how you learn. You cleave unto them that are wise. You can't go out there with your own Bible and Apocrypha and a strong kind of coordinates. It just don't work like that. You need to cleave unto them that are wise, and the men of the I.S.U.P.K, they're the ones that are wise.
That's true.
Read on.
Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
And that's how you learn. Every godly discourse, meaning every time people are breaking down the Bible, that's where you need to be. And at the I.S.U.P.K, that is classes from Tuesday to Friday. If you want to hear a godly discourse, that's where you need to be. Read on.
And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the step of his door.
Yeah, and that's what you gotta do. A man that's wise, if you want to learn, you need to be around him. You need to be wearing at the footsteps of his door, meaning you're always knocking on his door. You're always calling him, asking for a breakdown. You know, like I don't understand this and that verse here, and that's how you will get taught. So before you can fish for men, it's very important that you learn first, or otherwise you'll be doing more bad than good. Meaning, you know, people have some question that you can't answer, and you're always going back to people. Then that makes them think, well, he don't really know what it's on about. So why is he coming to me if he don't really know his stuff, and it doesn't look good on your part? Is there any more on that? Or, yeah, read that.
Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Most High, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thine own desire.
And the reason why you're wearing out this man's doorsteps is because you understand the Bible. You understand that let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments. And then now, because you do that, he shall establish thy heart, meaning your mind. He's going to start to build up your mind and give thee wisdom at thy own heart's desire. And how do you get that wisdom? You stand amongst the wise men. All right, from there, give me Acts 8 and 30.
Acts 8 and 30. And Philip ran. Everyone got it?
Getting it. What's that? All right, Acts 8 and 30.
Acts 8 and 30. And Philip ran thither to him, and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, understandest thou what thou readest?
Now, this is in the book of Acts. Now, with Philip, he ran to this man, and at the time, the man was reading Isaiah, which is a Greek word for saying Isaiah, and he said unto him, understandest thou what thou readest? So he's asking him a question saying, do you understand what you are reading in your hands, this book? Read on.
Verse 31. And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me?
What did he say?
And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me?
So he was wise enough to know you can't learn except you get taught. So he had the understanding to know, how can I, except some man guide me? So before you go out there and try to do try and do your thing, or try to spread the word of the Most High, you should know that you need to be taught. And with this man here, he was wise enough to understand that too. He was reading Isaiah and he didn't understand it, and he was humble enough to know, how can I accept some man guide me? Read on.
Verse 32, verse 31. How can I, except some man guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him.
See, and he desired that he would come up and he would sit with him. So now he knew that he had the understanding. So he wanted him to sit with him so that he can get the understanding of the book of Isaiah. So he was wise enough to understand that. So being in the truth, you do have to be taught. You know, I mean, you got many people on these online websites every second trying to act like they got all the understanding, and half of them haven't been taught, don't know what they're on about, and you know they need to humble themselves and just apply the scriptures. All right, so from there, now also it's important that when you're out there and you're trying to fish back, you know, God's chosen people, what do you teach on the street? Because you know you got some people, they like the hype, they like the fighting. Yo, man, they're out there, they're not edifying anybody. No one ain't going home like, wow. I mean, I didn't know that that was in the Bible, and it's very important that while you're doing this work, that's what you do. That everything you say is for like everything you say is to edify. So give me Isaiah 1:16.
Isaiah 1:16. Wash you, make you clean, put away evil of put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes.
Now, when you're on the street, we don't literally say wash you, make you clean. You know, people think that we're mad, but what do we say? We tell blacks and Hispanics to change anything wrong they're doing, stop that, and we say that the Most High, you know, He's gonna wash you, make you clean. Meaning, when you return, all that wickedness that you've done, He's going to forget about that, and you're gonna be someone brand new. You're not gonna be that you're not gonna be that man in the past that used to get high, used to commit adultery. That's what we're doing. We're calling our people back to be somebody new again. Read.
Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Cease to do evil.
Yeah.
Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed.
And that's what we teach. We teach that. We teach brotherhood. Now, to learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed. This comes down onto brotherhood. If you love that brother, you would make sure that you're relieving the oppressed. Any brother that's oppressing another brother, you would relieve them. So that this is what we do. We're out there telling our people to come back together, and how to do it is one thing. Saying black people need to come together. You got many so-called religious sects and black pan-Africanist groups that tell black people to come together, but they don't know how, and they can't do it, and they've been out since a very long time too. But you know, we showed them that this Bible, the Word of God, this the solution for us. Read on.
Verse 18. Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Lord.
And that's what the Most High wants. When you're on the street, you and the other blacks and Hispanics, you are reasoning together. You find out what's wrong, what's right, what should we be following, and what we should not be following as well. Read on.
Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow.
Mm-hmm.
Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool.
So now the Most High, He can clean them from all that wickedness that they are doing. So that's what we're teaching our people. Just because you're selling drugs, don't mean all your life you're going to be selling drugs. You can stop, and the Most High, He can make way for your son to eat. You know, because that's a famous drug dealer excuse. Well, my kids need to eat. Well, yeah, and we understand that too, but it ain't just your kids, it's everybody else's. So that don't give you the right to be killing the sons and daughters of everyone else so that your one child can eat. You know what I mean? Or they need the best of the best now. Their kids are walking around in Nike Harachis and all that. Yeah, so you're killing everyone else's sons and daughters that your kids can have that. But that if you return, you understand that what you're doing is wickedness, and you don't have to live that kind of way of life. The Most High, He's willing to forgive you of all that. If you return unto Him and you put that wickedness down, that's what you're there out on the streets teaching blacks and Hispanics, that whatever wrongs they are doing that are contrary to the Bible, they can change and they don't have to do that anymore. Read on.
Verse 20. But if you refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword.
And that's clear. So if you don't stop, then you're going to die. You're going to be devoured with the sword. So if you refuse, you're like, oh, well, listen, I kind of like the way that my life is, then you can carry on, but the last result is death. So that's what, when you're out on the streets, in a nutshell, that's what we are spreading unto our people. We done.
For the mouth of the Lord have spoken it.
And there, so it's not what we say, we read it out of the Bible, but the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. So it's not us and our opinion, it's the Most High and what He sees fit. So that's what we're telling them from God, like what it says in Ezekiel, warn them from me. We don't want them from no one else. We want them from the Most High. We tell them, if you don't stop, then you're going to pay the price, which is your life. All right, from there, then give me Jeremiah 3:12.
Jeremiah 3:12. Go and proclaim these words toward the north, and say, return thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord.
And that's what we do. Now, with the North, it's talking about North America. Now, obviously, we're not in North America, but we tell the blacks and Hispanics over here to return unto the Most High. Our people have been backsliding. If you're in any other religion, you have slided back. If you're in the mosque, the church, then you have slided back. So that's what we tell them, to come and return. We return to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Return unto what belongs unto you. Don't be returning unto what belongs unto somebody else. Read on. No, sir.
Return thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you.
And they return, the anger of the Most High will not fall upon them. Meaning they won't die of AIDS, diabetes, cancer, drive-bys, or any other thing that can cause death amongst us. Because why? Because these things happen because the anger of the Most High is against us. So when you're out there, you're telling your people, if you don't want to die, join the I.S.U.P.K, learn these laws, statutes, and commandments, change your life. Read on.
For I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever.
Yeah, so if you return, the Most High will be merciful unto us and will not keep his anger for ever. Meaning there's going to be a time where he will stop. If you return, he won't be at war with you anymore. Instead, you'll be working with the Most High. That's what we teach the blacks and Hispanics over here. Read on.
Verse 13. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God.
Imagine that. After all what you've done, all what the Most High wants of you, just to acknowledge the wrongs that basically you have done. He wants you to go, you know what? I've been living wrong. That's it. And some of the blacks and Hispanics, they find it hard to even do that. And that's all what he wants. He wants you to acknowledge it, like, you know what? I've been living wrong, and you know what? I'm going to change. I'm going to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. So that's what he wants. He wants our people to acknowledge that smoking weed is wrong, committing adultery is wrong, and they need to stop. And that's what, now, the only way they're going to know is if someone is out there letting know what's right and what's wrong according to the Most High. Read on.
And hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord.
All right. Can anyone break that part down? And have scattered thy way to the strangers.
Like we've strangers to other nations, and we've went into their philosophies. We become Muslims, we become Buddhists, we become Rastafarians. All our ways have scattered it to the people around about us.
That's right. But also, whenever we follow another religion, we do it better than them. Like many black people follow the Islamic belief, and we're so good that there's I think it's an Israelite. He does like lectures on about the Bible's wrong and all that, and they watch him. They actually learn from him. Meaning we scatter our ways onto them. Meaning we get so into their religions that we end up letting them know more about their beliefs. You know what I mean? Even in Christianity, the so-called best scholars in the white man's religion are us. We're the ones out there, defending it more than themselves. So we scatter our ways onto them, meaning that we take their beliefs and their religions, and we end up taking it to a next height more than them. Like in Mexico, a lot of them are Catholics. They have like a Saint Mary's Day, and what they do, they have like a statue of her, and in everyone's house, it must go in their house, and it must go to their next door neighbor as well. Now, now all over the world, all over the world, nobody else does this except us. Why? Because we take their religion to another extent. So, is there any more on that?
Con, on the evergreen tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Turn, O backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you,
Mm-hmm.
and I will take you one of a city, and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion,
Mm-hmm.
and I will give you pastors according to mine heart.
What did the Bible say?
And I will give you pastors according to mine heart.
So God says He will give us pastors according to His heart, according to His mind, and we know a piece of His mind is found in this Bible right here. He's going to give us pastors according to His mind. Why? Because if you're in other religions, obviously those pastors ain't right. So the Most High, He's going to set up those that understand the word of the Most High.
So this is saying that if the Most High going to give you a pastor according to his heart, and there's pastors out there that's not according to his heart.
That's right. Is there any more in verse 15? Yeah, there is. Yeah, read.
Now I will give you pastors according to mine heart. We shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
And the pastors that are of the Most High's heart, they're going to give you the wisdom and the understanding that the Bible is talking about. And also the I.S.U.P.K, we are those pastors that Bible is talking about right there. All right, so from there, give me Jeremiah 4 and verse 1.
Jeremiah 4 and 1. If thou wilt return, O Israel, saith the Lord, return unto me. And if thou wilt put away thine abomination out of my sight, then shall ye not remove.
Now, can anyone break this down?
Most about us to return to him and put away our abominations, like stop celebrating Christmas, Easter, selling drugs, etc. And if we do that, then he wouldn't kick you out of the land.
That's right. So if we would have started doing that, we wouldn't have been removed out of the land. The Babylonians wouldn't have taken us. The Greeks wouldn't have taken us. The Romans would not have taken us as well. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And thou shalt swear, the Lord liveth in truth, in judgment, and in righteousness, and the nations shall bless themselves in him, and in him they glory.
Mm-hmm. So can anyone break down verse 2? Read it again.
And if thou shalt swear, the Lord liveth in truth, in judgment, and in righteousness,
mm-hmm.
and the nations shall bless themselves in him.
Now, for instance, if we was right, everybody else would be right. Like, for example, if you read the prophecies about the kingdom, what's going to happen? Eventually, everyone's going to follow the laws of the Most High. So if we was right, they would be right too. They wouldn't be worshipping any rocks. Why? Because we're not worshipping any rocks. They wouldn't be worshipping any crosses. Why? Because we're not worshipping any crosses too. Like for example, on the radio show with the commanding General Yohanna, they had the 1 million man march in America, and again that was full of blacks and Hispanics, and the other nations followed us so much. A hacking group had the 1 million man hack, where basically they go into government programs, and many little offspring groups, they were trying to imitate what we were doing. So our people do have a influence on this earth. So if we follow the Most High, by default, they will too. So so our people are very influential, just that we don't understand that. Read on.
Verse 3. For thus saith the Lord to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground and sow not among thorns.
So can anyone break down verse 3? I read that again.
For thus saith the Lord to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground, and sow not among thorns.
Right. A fallow ground is weak ground. So if you're planting, you don't want a weak ground. You want a strong ground that can grow your crops. And it goes, and sow not among thorns. So now, what it's saying is, don't put your work into anything that is not going to benefit you. Now, our people been in these religions, they have not benefited us. Blacks have been Christian since slavery. That has not benefited us. That is you sowing among the thorns and the fallow ground. You're working on something that is of no benefit unto you. But guess what? If you work for the Most High, that is a benefit unto us, and that's what we let them know. You let them know. Listen, all these religions have not helped black people not once at all. Read on.
Circumcise therefore, circumcise yourselves to the Lord, and take away the foreskin of your heart, ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire, and burn that none can quench.
All right. So it says, circumcise yourselves to the Lord. Now, when you circumcise yourself, well, we don't circumcise ourselves, but I mean, when you basically someone is circumcised, all the excess skin, it gets cut off. So what it's saying, circumcise yourself to the Lord, take away the foreskins of your mind, of your heart. Now, your heart is your mind, meaning all that uncleanness in your mind, get rid of that. All that sin that you want to do in your mind, all that adultery, weed smoking, hating on them, a brother, you cut all of that off. Ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, let my fury come forth like fire, and burn that none can quench it. So meaning, once this punishment comes, there's nothing our people can do, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell them that in these last days, you need to return to the Lord because a punishment is coming, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. The only thing you can do is save yourself. That's what we're teaching. All right, from there. Now, some people ask, well, why do we have to do it on the street? Because, for instance, I'll give you a personal example. My dad, he happened to come across the I.S.U.P.K United Kingdom videos, and he was like, yeah, well, why go out there on the street? Wouldn't it be good if you went to wouldn't it be good if you had a exhibition that you could do where the people come onto you? But again, he doesn't read the Bible, he doesn't understand the Bible. Now I'm gonna show you that you going on the street and you doing this work is exactly what the Most High wants. It's not something what a man wants. This is what our King Yahushua commanded of us. Give me Luke 14 and 23.
Luke 14:23. And the Lord said unto his servant, go out into the highways and hedges.
He said what?
Go out into the highways and hedges.
Now, a highway, does anyone know what that is?
Where people coming up and down, like traffic.
That's right. So it don't mean like a highway where literally cars are going left and right, because anyone got time to, break and hear what you're going to say. Talking about a place where a lot of people are. So, where they go to shop, where they go to hang out, you go to them places, read on.
And compel them to come in, that my house may be filled.
And the place where, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. And we know that's talking about the kingdom of heaven. In the kingdom, the Most High wants, every single one of us. So that's what we do. We're out there calling all them back, you got to return. Give me Matthew 22 and 9. That's something.
Yeah, but promise as well when you get there.
Yeah, what's that? No, actually, no. If you got the one in Proverbs, do bring it out too.
Proverbs 1 and 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets.
All right, so if you can read that one more time.
Wisdom crieth without.
All right, the word without means outside. If you look it up, it's an old English way of saying outside. So wisdom crieth outside. Read.
She uttereth her voice in the streets.
And she utters her voice in the streets. So in Luke, it said the highways. In the book of Proverbs, it's saying the streets, so it's saying the exact same thing. Anyone that
Yeah. She crieth in the chief place of concourse.
in where?
The chief place of concourse.
Now the word concourse is where people communicate. So she's in the main place of concourse. So a place where people like to go out, they like to talk, they like to socialize. That's where wisdom will be. And the wisdom is talking about wisdom working through us. You won't see a celebrity out there in the street, meaning the wisdom through that man, he's there and he's telling the blacks and Hispanics to return unto the Lord. Anyone that?
Con. In the opening of the gates.
In the what?
In the opening of the gates.
Now, back then, whenever people had the concourse, basically every town had gates where they were opening. You would come through with like your fish or whatever you're trying to buy. And obviously, you know what I mean? The people, they would talk, they would get the communicating. So that's where wisdom is. She's at the place where everyone is and where they communicate. That's what,
Also, the gate was like the only entrance in. So everyone had to go there.
that's right.
So that's why she was there where the bulk of the people was. You know what I mean? Not in a quiet place or exhibition. She was there getting the bulk of the people. And that's why we speak where we speak, because we want the bulk of the people.
That's right. You want a big crowd. You don't want one person every 20 minutes. You want everyone every second. So you know what I mean? They come past, they can get a flyer, call the school, log into the classes, and you know, of course that's what you want. Is there more than that, or was that?
No, that was it.
Right. Matthew 22:9.
Matthew 22:9. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage.
So again, this is now in Luke we read this, but in the book of Matthew, this is his account, and he's saying the exact same thing. So we go into the highways, the places where a lot of people are. They're walking to buy something, and that's where you gotta be. And you're commanded by God through His Son Yahushua that you need to be there too. So now let's give some examples of this. So let's see if the prophets in the past, if they done the exact same thing too. Actually, no, hold on. Before I get that, give me 1 Corinthians 1:21.
First Corinthians 1:21. For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God.
So now, with this world, now it don't mean the whole entire world like that. It's talking about with this society, they don't know God. We done.
It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
And there, so it pleases God by the what?
By the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
There, so how people come into the truth, it was by preaching, meaning some people, they say, well, how did you, I mean, like, if you ask, I wouldn't say everybody, but at least 80% of them, how did you hear about the I.S.U.P.K? Now, with some of them, they were walking down the road, they didn't have any idea. They were going to JD, Asylum, or wherever they go to buy what they buy. And I heard these people claim that the blacks are the real Jews, that we're in slavery because we broke the laws of God. So God saved them by what the preaching. Now, some people may say, well, why would you go out on the street and like do something like that? But God, by His wisdom, He saved them by preaching on the streets, which is something that people sometimes may find odd, but that's the way how the Most High wants it done.
Yeah, it refers to the foolishness of preaching, because people will think that preaching can't do anything. So that's why it refers to the foolishness. Like, for a black man to get free, he would think that he would have to vote and march and pick up guns. But the Bible said just by just something as simple as preaching, we can be saved.
That's right. So, you know, just that one thing, it can get someone's attention, and that can make him go, you know what they're saying is true. And then they want a flyer, they want to come to class, and before you know it, they know me and someone brand new. All right, so let's get some examples of when they went out. Give me Jeremiah, the 7th chapter, and verse 1.
Jeremiah 7:1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, stand in the gate of the Lord's house.
What did the Bible say?
Stand in the gate of the Lord's house.
Now we do some exhibitions.
Stand in the gate of the Lord's house.
Stand in the gate of the Lord's house. So where the temple was, stand outside the gate, meaning Jeremiah, he was outside, he was without, as the Bible says.
You can't avoid him. If he's in the gate, he's in the doorway for you to get in and out, then you have to hear him.
Yeah, you're either walking in or out, and you're going to hear him and what he has to say. So that's how the word of the Most High is. It's something where people are going to hear the word, whether they like it or not. Where you're gonna be, they're going to have to hear. And read on.
Stand in the gate of the Lord's house and proclaim there this word, saying, hear the word of the Lord, all ye of Judah, and enter in at these gates to worship the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, amend your ways and your doings.
What does God want?
Amend your ways and your doings.
That's what God wants. God wants you to amend your ways and your doings. So anything sinful that you have done, stop that. And that's what you do out there on the streets. Read on.
And I will cause you to dwell in this place. Trust ye not in lying words, saying, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord are these.
Okay, I gotta break it down. When said the temple of the Lord are these, meaning even back then and now, you had many people saying, yeah, with that place over there, that's the temple of the Most High. So so even back then and even now, you go to one church to another church. This is the house of God, the mosque. Yeah, this is the place of God. So he was telling them, no, don't be thinking like and that. You know what I mean? But anyway, read on.
Verse 4. Trust ye not in lying words, saying, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord are these. For if ye thoroughly amend your ways and your doings, if ye thoroughly execute judgment between a man and his neighbor, if ye oppress not the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, and shed not innocent blood.
And do what?
Shed not innocent blood.
Gangs.
Shed not innocent blood.
Black on black crime.
Shed not innocent blood.
There, and we see that even till this day, where the innocent of our people, they're dying. Meaning, for example, you may have gangs, they're at war, and it's always the innocent person had nothing to even do with it. He's getting shot. So so even that, we tell our people, you've been in gangs fighting against one another. What's the point? We are both black. Our 4 parents came on those same slave ships together. You're letting them know that you're trying to speak against all the wickedness that the white man does to us, and also we do to one another, even in these times too. Read on.
In this place, neither walk after other gods.
Neither do what?
Walk after other gods.
Christianity.
Walk after other gods.
There, so basically, we teach them, don't be following no religions. Read on.
To your hurt.
To your hurt. Why? Because when you do that, you're only going to anger the Most High, and He's going to be against you. So any sin or anything contrary to the Bible that you're doing, it's only to your hurt, meaning you're going to suffer the punishments of that. The Most High, He's fine, but you're not going to be. You're going to be the one with no job, living on the streets. You know what I mean? Your wife's probably having an affair on you, and all these things are the punishments of the Most High, and that is to your hurt. Read on.
Verse 7. Then will I cause you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave your fathers forever and ever.
And then that's what we teach. We teach. You follow the Most High, you will be going back to Jerusalem. You're going to be great in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to rule. You're going to tell the Japanese what to do and what not to do. So with that, give me Acts the 17th chapter, verse 16.
The book of Acts 17 and 16. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him, and he saw the city holy, given to idolatry.
So now that word holy, it don't mean holy like it means basically as whole or like fully. So now he fully saw them given to idolatry. So he was there amongst us, and with the Jews that was scattered in the city of Athens, they was fully into idolatry. Read on.
Verse 17, therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him.
Mhm.
Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and the
So
Stoics encountered him and said, what will this babbler say? Others, some, he seemed to be a settler forth of strange gods, because he preached unto them Yahweh and the resurrection.
so now if so now that now because he's speaking about the word of the Most High, these groups, the Epicureans and the Stoics, they encountered him and they're like, well, what's this guy on about? Talking about a man called Yahweh and the resurrection. Read on.
Verse 19, and they took him and brought him to Areopagus, saying, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speak is.
All right. Now, does anyone know where Areopagus is? All right. Areopagus was a place where you would debate. So they'll take you to one place, and it will be like based on the outside, and they said now they would debate with you. So even Paul, his work was done outside. They didn't take him inside and have some exhibition with him. They took him outside and
Kind of a couple verses above it says Paul would dispute daily with them in the markets. So where they're buying food and going back and forth to catch him on their way. I think it's verse 17.
yeah, if you want to read that.
Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews, that's one card code, and with devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him.
With them that met with him. So that's a good point. He was speaking, and those that wanted to meet with him, he would deal with them outside so that the rest of us they can see, and it can also get a spark working in their mind too. So that was a heavy point that you brought out there too. Where was we at? Verse 20.
For they bring a certain strange things to our ears. We would know wherefore, therefore, what these things mean. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear something new.
So the reason why they was basically wanted to debate with him, because they was a people they basically like to philosophize. They like to tell or to hear something brand new. So if you got some new concepts or some belief, then they'll pay attention to it. Or they like to tell something new, which is very common amongst us Benjamites. We're very full of philosophies. Someone all got something new to say, or they got something to tell. So I mean that's just an example, but that's how they was back then too. They was just full of philosophy. You could bring anything out there and they will pay attention onto it. So I've got any questions online?
No.
All right. Yeah. Verse 22.
Verse 22. Then Paul stood in the midst of Marsh Hill and said, ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are too superstitious.
And they are what?
Too superstitious.
And basically that's how they were. They wanted to learn everything. I believe a bit of this. Someone can come with some philosophy, but the point I'm making is he did this outside. Mars Hill is a hill outside. Areopagus is a place, and the hill which he was at was called Mars Hill. Read on.
For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with an inscription to the unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship. Him declare I unto you.
So now, with Paul, he also seen it as an opportunity to tell them about the Most High. Because when it says the unknown God, they worship so many gods that it is one that they forgot about. They would call it just the unknown God. So now he's using that. he's using their unknown God as a way to gain them. Read on.
God that made the world and all the things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
Yeah, so he's telling that, you know, the God that created the heaven and the earth, he's not made with hands of men, meaning you won't find any form of idolatry connected with him. Read on.
Verse 25, neither is worship with men's hands, as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things. And he hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth, and have determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation, that they should seek the Lord, if happily they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us.
So now, him being wise, he's using this opportunity to tell him about the Most High, saying that you don't need to make anything to basically obey the Most High. You know, he's not far from us, but, you know, he wants us to basically seek him. So, you know, but the point I'm making is he did this outside. This wasn't inside, where, you know what I mean, everything was comfortable. The radiators was on, all that. This was done outside, where, you know what I mean, everyone can see, and it can get people's minds sparking as well. So now, you know, what's the result of all this? What is the benefit? In Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra 2 and 36.
Second Ezra 2:36. Flee from the shadow of this world. Receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly.
Yeah, so now, if you're doing this work, there is a reward for all this work. So now, with the prophet Ezra, he was telling us that, you know, he testifies his Savior openly, meaning that, you know what I mean, he says to anybody, he'll be out there on the streets, you know what I mean, talking the word of the Most High. Verse 37.
All receive the gift that is given you, and be glad, giving thanks unto him that have called you to the heavenly kingdom.
And there you give thanks. Your eyes being opening to the truth. You know, that is you being led to the kingdom. So, you know, you being in the truth, and you might have this work and you're scared of being on the streets. Don't be afraid of that. Remember that the reward is going to be much better. Read on.
Verse 38. Arise up and stand. Behold the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord.
All right. Now the feast of the Lord, does that sound familiar? Anything that we read before?
The kingdom.
Yeah. So the feast of the Lord. Now, if you go back to Luke 14,
He said, bid to my marriage and my stuff.
yeah. So basically it tells you what this is about. This is the people that did the work and the reward that they're getting. If you read it again, verse 38.
Arise up and stand. Behold the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord.
So in the feast of the Lord, meaning the kingdom of heaven. Read.
Which are departed from the shadow of the world, and have received glorious garments of the Lord.
Now, you go to Revelation 19:6. It lets you know what the garment is. It's the commandments. You know, like the garments were the righteousness of the saints, meaning the garments were them following the law, statutes, and commandments. So they flee the ways of this world, meaning they put down drugs, weed, sin, like in a nutshell, anything contrary to the commandments of God. And they basically put on garments, meaning they follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Read on.
Verse 40. Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord. 41. The number of thy children, whom thou longest for, is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people, which have been called from the beginning, may be hallowed.
We done.
I, Ezra, saw upon Mount Zion a great number, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs.
So now the Most High, He's showing us something that He's seen. Verse 42. He's seen a people whom He could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. Now He's seen this. Read on.
Verse 43, and in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set a crown, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly.
So now, while He's crowning those that did the work, He's taller than them, and He was shocked. Like, who is this man? Like, what is he doing? That based on now, He's looking at him and He's like amazed. Like, who is this man? It's like, you're in a crowd and there's someone that stands out the most. You know what I mean? So now He's seeing that and He's basically shocked and like, who is this man? And also when it says stature, that means height. So basically this man, he was really tall. Now don't get me wrong, even in these times we got some tall people, but for him to stand out shows how tall he had to have been. Read on, verse 44.
2:44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God.
They do what?
Confess the name of God.
They were not and had camp. They do what?
Confess the name of God.
They confessed the name of God. They confessed everything in the Bible, the law, statute, and commandments. They prophesied. They did everything that was in the Bible. Read on.
Now are they crowned and received palms. Sorry.
No, so now you being a fisher of men and doing His work, that's a reward found in the Bible. And the Bible says that the Most High is not a man that He should lie. So anything He says, you're going to get. If you diligently do the work of the Lord, that is what you will get. You know what I mean? The Bible ain't some lie like any other religious book. The Bible is the truth. You know what I mean? There ain't no book out there relating to the times of today except the Bible. Read on.
Verse 47. So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God.
It is who?
The Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
So now He's seen it back then, and he said he began to commend them, like he was actually, he actually liked what they did in these times now, that they stood strong for the name of Yahushua. They were in that doctrine. They didn't go to the right or to the left, but they stood for the Most High. Read on.
Verse 48. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy God thou hast seen.
There, and once he seen that, he was told to go and to tell them. And likewise, that's what we're going to do. We're going to tell the people that a kingdom is coming and it's going to be great. But guess what? You need to change. So exactly what he did, that's what we're going to do too. All right, give me Isaiah 30 and 20.
Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction.
So in these times, we get adversity and affliction. Why? Because we sinned against the Lord. So when you don't have enough money to pay the rent and you're being afflicted, your boss at your slavery's on your back. You got the gang down the road running after you. You know what I mean? You're trying to leave the house at specific times when they're not around. Them things are adversity and affliction. So although blacks and Hispanics, we go for many adversaries and afflicted things, read on.
Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
So yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. So we're not gonna be in the corners no more, where a place which people don't recognize us, because there's been a long time where the real prophets of the Most High, no one has no one has redeemed them as no one has respected them as the men of God. They looked up to everybody else, while basically the real men of God, they was in the corners. Read done.
But thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
What did the Bible say?
Thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
Yeah, so when you're on the street walking around, you're gonna see these men in the garments and fringes, and you're gonna know these are the men of God.
YouTube also.
And on YouTube, yeah, that's true. And on YouTube too. So you're gonna see the men of God. Read on.
21. Thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it.
Yeah, so as you're walking down the street, they're telling you you're the real Jews, return unto the Most High. That's what that part is on about there. They know this is the way, walk ye in it. So as you're walking down the road, this is going to get your attention. Read on.
When you turn to the right hand, and when you turn to the left.
Yeah, so wherever you go, when you turn to the right hand, when you turn to the left, so you'll see them on the street. You go online, you'll see them on YouTube as well. You mean wherever you go, to the right or the left, you are going to see the real men of God spreading this word and also teaching this Bible too. So has anyone got any questions online or in the class? Off topic. We got minutes. All right. So what you can do, give me Proverbs 8:1.
Proverbs 8:1.
All right. So now this is a link to Proverbs 1:21 about wisdom crieth without. Yes, read that.
Doth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice?
Mm-hmm.
She standeth in the top of high places.
There, so standeth in the top of high places, meaning a place where you can be seen. You're not gonna go and be somewhere where you can't be seen. You want to know when we spread this word, whether they like it or not, whether they want to hear the word or not, we are going to be heard. Read on.
She standeth in the top of high places, by the way, the places of the path.
By the way, in the places of the path. So a path where everyone has to walk, that's where you're gonna be. You're gonna be somewhere where everyone has to go. Verse 3.
She crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming of in at the doors.
There at the coming at the doors. Now that's what the verse said before. With the gates, only one. There's only one gate. There ain't no other gate at the back. So this is where people have to go, and this is where wisdom will be. Meaning, they're going to be at a place where everyone has to be, or a place where majority of our people will be. Verse 4.
Verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man.
Yeah, so unto you men I call. So first we call to the men, because if the men get right, the women and the kids, they will get right. So this starts with the men. So yes, of course, we want everybody, but this starts with the men, because as you can see, in every ethnic group, it's the men that take charge, and what the kids and the women, they fall into their place. So likewise with the men, it's the same thing with us too. Read on.
Verse 5. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart.
Yeah, so our people, they reject it. So basically they need to understand wisdom and be of an understanding heart, meaning of an understanding mind. Because everyone thinks the wise in their eyes till you really open up the Bible and you know what it's on about, and you're like, what was I into, like, or how could I really believe that? And that's a common thing to everyone that comes into the I.S.U.P.K. When you get re-taught again, you're like, well, what was I into before? Verse 6. Yes.
Verse 6. Here I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things.
Yeah, so we speak out to the Bible. We speak excellent things. You are above everybody on this earth. You know what I mean? The kingdom is for you. We're speaking excellent things, and that's what and that it's only excellent if it comes out of the Bible. Verse 7.
For my mouth shall speak truth,
Mhm.
and wickedness is an abomination to my lips.
Yeah, so the prophets of the Lord, they will not lie. They will not tell you that the white man can be saved because you're walking with them. You're walking with a white girl in your right arm. They're not going to lie to you. They're only going to speak the truth, which is the word of the Most High. So that is the class. Has anyone got any questions online or anything? Or
No.
in the class? Right, then with that, we get to the announcements and the prayers as well.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. Where the I.S.U.P.K started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, Hakanaka, or Akam and Aqua. Check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, that's boots, shirt, pants, headband or headscarf. And with that, we're going to say the Lord's Prayer. You rise and face the east. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kudash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Daba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'aratza, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Wala'a, Dabayainawa, Banasaya 1, Abba, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La'aiwalamyam, Aman.
In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. Deliver us from evil,
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power, and
the glory, forever. So be it.
The Haka, the power, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Babakusha, the Thundanawa, Haka, Larapa'a, Kalmakala, Wakal Madawa, Haka, Lataha, Hamatazarayam, Haka, Lahakwiam, Hamafiam, Haka, Arakawa, Hatam Ma'ala, Lagarashan, Bahashem Yahawashi, Tuwada Aman,
and in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power, the power to heal, all manner of sickness,
all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the
the
lepers,
power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
the power against unclean
to
spirits,
cast them out,
to cast them
in
out.
the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. The blessings. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa Yahushua.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Mata Zabiyah.
Mata Zabiyah.
I.S.U.P.K.
Allah
Ha I.S.U.P.K.
Ha Allah
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Sabranyam.
Ha Kwatazayanyam.
Ha Kwatazayayim.
Ha Kalayayam.
Ha Kalayayim.
Wa Akwatyam.
Wa Akwatyam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba Hashem Yahushua.
Wa Hashem Yahushua.
Wa the Aman.
Wa Aman. And in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And I.S.U.P.K.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanna.
Commanding General Yohanna.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Let's pray for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
And death to the heathen.
And death to the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
And death to the heathen.
And death to the heathen.
And shake loose the pockets of the rich.
And shake loose the pocket of the rich.
Of Israel.
Of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishments and destruction.
And death to the Edomites.
And death to the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Christianity.
Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Pasikomatazzi. The gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airways. The cable access channels. And the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift death to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the terrorists. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and destroy. Cause the terrorists to come against America and destroy them in their strongholds. Let America shake at the hand of the terrorists. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and kill all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Call it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Call it to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Call them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. In the blessed Israel. Yahweh. Ba Hashem Yahushua. Barak Hanawa. Wa Yasha'Allah. Wahabaya. Sapayam. Barak Papa. Magan Hagan.
Commanding General Yohanna,
Commanding General Yohanna,
all the generals of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the generals of the I.S.U.P.K,
Captain Mashak Mayam,
Captain Mashak Mayam,
Captain Nayatha,
Captain Nayadak,
Captain Kobalama,
Captain Kubalama,
Captain Tazaya,
Captain Tazak,
and also all the captains of the I.S.U.P.K,
and all the captains of the I.S.U.P.K,
Officer Katazar,
Officer Kataza,
Officer Zakar,
Officer Zakar,
Officer Kahantan Yad,
Officer Kahantanyan,
Officer Thawagaba,
Officer Tawagaba,
Officer Regaya,
Officer Vagaya,
and all the officers of the I.S.U.P.K,
and all the officers of the I.S.U.P.K,
and all the troopers of the I.S.U.P.K,
and all the troops of the I.S.U.P.K,
and all the sisters of the I.S.U.P.K,
and all the sisters of the I.S.U.P.K,
all those searching for the truth,
all those searching for the truth,
and all those that support the I.S.U.P.K,
and all those that support the I.S.U.P.K,
the Gordon family,
the Gordon
the
family,
Bennett family,
the Bennett family,
the George family,
the George family,
the Bennett family.
the Bennett family,
That's it.
all the generals of the I.S.U.P.K,
All the generals of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the captains of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the captains of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the officers of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the officers of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the troopers of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the troopers of the I.S.U.P.K,
Ayasha,
Ayasha,
and all of Israel,
and all of Israel,
all the generals of I.S.U.P.K,
all the generals of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the captains,
all the captains,
all the officers,
all the officers,
all the troopers,
all the troopers,
all those of Israel searching for the truth,
all those of Israel searching for the truth,
the George family,
the George family,
the Gordon family,
the Gordon family,
all of Israel,
all of Israel,
all of Israel,
all of Israel,
and also that are going camp today.
and all the brothers going to camp today. Ba'ashem Yahawashi,
Ba'ashem Yahawashi,
Dawada Aman,
Tawada Aman.
and what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Jesus. Thank you, and so be it.